Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. We are going to look at types of sleeves today. And I'm sure by now every one of us know what sleeve is. It's a part of garment that covers the body, the arm, either half or full. Then I just still want us to get this pattern textbook because it is very, very necessary. In the types of sleeves, you see different kinds of sleeves here, and it's well detailed. So I advise that if you don't have it, you can come to the school or order online to be given to you. So we are looking at types of sleeves. Like I said, we have the bell sleeve, we have bishop sleeve, we have the fitted sleeve, we have the cold shoulder sleeve, the cap sleeve, puff or bob sleeve, and we have the flare sleeve. So we are starting with the bell sleeve. We all know how bell looks like. It looks like a cone. So when you are drafting your bell sleeve, you have to show that so when you are drafting a bell sleeve or cutting a bell sleeve or sewing a bell sleeve, you have to show the bell shape. So to that brings us we're going to show you the measurements and how you're going to come about the bell sleeve. Everything depends on your choice, your desired length. So if you are drafting the bell sleeve, first of all, you get your basic pattern, which is there. This is your basic pattern. So if you want to get the bell sleeve, it depends. You can, from here, you can measure. Make sure that you don't go to the elbow. If you want to slash, if you want it to be very full, I'm going to show you how you're going to get it. But if you want that shape to come out very well, what you're going to do, you do it either you measure before the elbow or after the elbow. Then after which you now slash. I'm going to show you. So this is what I mean. From here to here is below the elbow. Then you mark. Then you begin to slash. Then after slashing, the left here, that is the B part, and the F, you're going to slash this out. You're going to cut it out. Cut it out this way. Then this. So after that, we are forming the shape now. You can measure 0.5 here or 1 inch. It all depends on how you want it. Then you use your paper tape. Then do the same at the left. You measure either 1 inch from here or ½ inch. So you're going to place this on your paper, another paper. So let's assume that this board is the paper you're placing. So this is what you're going to get. You now cut all through. If you want it to be more, you can always shift it. Then if you want it to be silent, you can always shift it in. So this is your bell sleeve. So when you spread it on your paper, remember to blend. You blend it very well. You blend here and blend. Then you use your hand and blend, free hand. You blend it very well. And this is your bell sleeve. Then the next we are going to bishop sleeve. Bishop sleeve is just like a flare sleeve. The only difference is that after slashing and spreading, then you gather the down. So let's just do it now. Want to slash and spread. You slash to the tip. Don't slash all through. Just slash it to the tip. So the last one here. The fullness of your bishop sleeve depends on you. Depends on what you want. So we want to achieve the bishop sleeve now. You can use 3 inches between 2 . So this is bishop sleeve we want to achieve now. So I'm using 5. You can do more than 5. It all depends on what you want. So I'm using 5 inches to spread. I've already slashed. I'm spreading. So this is 5 inches here. Spreading with 5 inches. So this is it. 5 inches. As it is like this. So with this I use the 5 inches for the spacing. So with this is a flare. This is flare sleeve. So the difference between the flare sleeve and the bishop sleeve is for you to gather this back. So when you place it on the paper, you need to use your pencil with free hand to blend. So when you blend it, you bring it out. Then after placing it on your fabric, what you're going to do is you gather it. So you do gathers. By the time you gather, you see it will be bulky. So that is for the bishop sleeve. The next is fitted sleeve. For a fitted sleeve, we are going to use this basic sleeve to achieve it now. So what you're going to do, you measure, you get the measurement before your elbow and get the roundness. So the next is fitted sleeve, and I'm putting on fitted sleeve. So you're going to achieve this fitted sleeve by getting your length first, the length of the short length, then the elbow, the three-quarter, and the full length. Then after getting it, you get the circumference. the circumference of your bicep, the circumference of your elbow, the circumference of your triquetral, and the circumference of your full sleeve. Okay, this is the explanation that I've just done. The short is 20 cm, the elbow 32 cm, triquetral 41 cm, the wrist or the full length of the sleeve is 59 cm. While their circumferences are 32.5, elbow 30 cm, then triquetral 29, and the full measurement is 22. So this is how you are going to achieve it. When you come to this point O, to have your short that is 20 cm, the circumference, you measure the circumference and divide it into 2. So when we divide 32, then we're going to measure the short is 20 cm. So we're going from point O. This is a 20 cm. The square across. Then the elbow is already there. We already got in the elbow. That is 32 cm. Then we're going for the triquetral. The triquetral measurement is 41. So 41 cm. And this is the full length here, the full sleeve length. So we're going to share the circumference into 2. So for the short is 32.5. You will get your midpoint to share. If you are sharing it, it's going. So I've already brought out the measurement here. It's reflecting here. You can see the short. I already brought out the measurement and I square across. The elbow is there and the triquetral. So this 32.5 cm for the circumference, we are going to share it into 2. But you are going to measure from the middle, the midpoint. This is the short. See the midpoint. So you measure your 16.5. That's it here. Then you measure from the midpoint. This is get a 16.5. So we're going to the elbow. The elbow is 15, is a 30 cm. So we are going to share it for the front and the back. Starting from the midpoint, 15 cm. So this is elbow. We start from here. Get a 15 cm. That's the 15 cm there. 15 cm from the midpoint. 15 cm. Then we get to the triquetral. The triquetral is 29 cm, the circumference. They're going to share it between the front and the back of the arm, of the sleeve rather. So we're sharing 14.5 cm, starting from the midpoint. Then 14.5. That's point 14.5. Start from the midpoint here. 14.5. So we are left with the wrist measurement or the full sleeve length. The circumference is 22 cm. So we are going to share it into 2 as usual. Starting from the midpoint, 22 cm, then you're going to share 11 cm each. So they are sharing the 11 cm. This 11 cm. And this is 11 cm. After getting all these points, you need to, okay. So we are connecting now. You will not have to connect it straight on. This is what you will do from one point to the other. That's how you do your connection, from one point to the other point. Then you connect. After connecting, you can now later blend. So I've connected this at the left, so this is the back. I'm going to the front to connect. So this is how we connect. Always use your French curve so that you'll be well blended. So I'm curving from the short to the elbow. I'm connecting. So I'm blending the UP, touching the shorts, blending the UP, touching the shorts, and connecting it to the elbow. Then I want to connect from the elbow, touching the 3/4, down to the full sleeve. So this is what I'm going to do. So I'm now connecting from the elbow, touching the 3/4, down to the full sleeve length. So this is what it looks like. So having done your connection from the UP to the short, to the elbow, to the 3/4, then down to the full sleeve length, you will now see that it's already fitted. Like I gave my own sleeve, for example. Like you can see my sleeve. See how it is fitted. So that is how I achieved it. So if you do this, following all these measures, you will get a beautiful fitted sleeve. So the next we're going is a cold shoulder sleeve. For the cold shoulder sleeve, like I always say, everything depends on what you want. You will see some cold shoulder that are very, very open. Some of them have different shapes. Some have V shape, some have U shape, some have different kind of shape. So the shape you want determines what you're going to apply on the sleeve. So getting that, it depends on the length again. You can take any length, your desired length. For example, if you take a length from here, let me do it on the paper. You can take the length from here to here, then after which you determine the point. That's why I say it depends on the wideness. So it determines the point that you're going to, the wideness determines where you're going to cut the sleeve, sorry, the cold shoulder. So this, I have ruled about 3 lines. There are 3 lines here. This is the first, this is the second, this is the third. So it all depends on what you want. So you can go this way. When you go this way, you cut this off. So at this point, make sure the point you have here, going to apply the same point on your pattern so that it will align. So if you want it to come down, it all depends. You can do it this way. You can use any shape. You can use U, you can use V, you can use round. So that is how you're going to do. Anyhow you want to achieve it. It's just what you want that you're going to reflect. So when you chop this off, if you cut it off, you now attach it on the pattern. So this is how you achieve your cold shoulder. Then the next, for the cap sleeve, you're going to get the measurement between point O to the crown depth. That's the measurement of the length and width. So for me, I am taking 9 here. Then you can as well measure the width. Can be 2 or 3, or you can decide to use the UP. So I'm using the UP, and the measurement, the depth here is 9. I'm using 9. So I'm going to use my French curve. Using my French curve. So getting to this point, I use 9 cm for the length. So I decided to use the UP. So I'm connecting the UP to this point, 9 cm. You do the same at the front point F. Yeah. And it's well. Then you're going to come down with 1 cm. Coming down with 1 cm and blend. This is 1 cm here. You can blend with your hand or with curve, whichever one that is easy for you. Blending. So this is it. Can blend it. Then Then you clean up this. So from here, this is now your cap sleeve from the UP down here. So this is your cap sleeve. You use your French cuff to blend, and after that, this is the result you're going to get. That's why you see me doing this. This is how you're going to cut it out, and this is your cap sleeve. Next is puff. For puff sleeve, you do the same as you slash. For puff sleeve, you slash to the tip. So for puff sleeve, they are usually short. If it's long, it's no longer puff sleeve. Puff sleeve is almost the same as bishop sleeve, but bishop sleeve is usually longer. So for puff sleeve, we're going to make it short to get that puffy effect. If it's long, you won't get that puffy effect. So to this, we are slashing our paper. So if you want it very puffy, you can use like 4 cm or inches this time. 4 inches or 5 inches, or as you like. You can use as many inches as you can. So here we are using a 4 inches. Using 4 inches here. So this is it. We are using 4 inches. Then after, you're going to gather the damp part. When you place it on the paper, you make sure that you blend. You blend it well. After blending, you now gather. After gathering, you can put a band or elastic. You can put a band. Okay, as for the elastic, you don't need to gather because the elastic will gather it. But the only thing, create a room for where you're going to pass the elastic. But at the time you pass the elastic, by the time you put it together, it has already created the gather itself by itself. So this is how you're going to achieve your puff. And if you want it to be very big, some people want it to be very full. Let me use that word, full. If you can now spread it very well. This is 4 inches. You can make it 8. You can make it 10. So it all depends on how voluminous you want it to be. Then, if you want, so for flare sleeve, I'm sure you will have seen examples of flare, and you have been taught one way or the other. But let me just recap. What I'm putting on is a flare sleeve. What I'm putting on is a flare sleeve, and it's a full flare sleeve, very full. And it's the same method, you can see, it's very full. So we are using the same method to slash and spread. So it's the same method. This is the simplest of them all. So I know that everyone in this class must have done. So this is it again. Going to slash to the tip. So by the time you place this, so if you want it to be very full, you can even go ahead using 10 inches. Because you want it to be very, very full. So I'll show you an example of what I'm putting on. So this is it. I measure from, when you're measuring, start from the midpoint. inches. I just want to measure just the midpoint, then you can do others on your own.